someone knew where to place these stones. I mean, we went out there with magnetometers and did all the studies. But what's the connection? Someone a long time ago, when they built these structures, actually put markers in areas where there was high strangeness, a great deal of paranormal phenomena. The Native Americans, these areas used to be sacred ground where earth spirits lived. What did they say about it? They said the people who built these stone structures came from the sea, 18 in a boat. Their faces were of fire, red beards. Their eyes were of the sky, blue eyes. It sounded like there wasn't a lot of them that came over, but there were enough of them to come over to start building these structures. These structures are still up there today, and they're lost in time. People would say, oh yeah, my great-great-granddaddy saw that, his great-great-granddaddy, been around, now we think it's Indian. Indians have built it, the Indians knew who built it, but nobody listens to the Native Americans in the area. So, you can see this one has a standing stone in front of it. Many of them have standing stones that have collapsed. They're carved standing stones, they were used to generate earth energy. But these particular chambers, these structures, were built over areas of magnetic anomalies, which has been verified. They're built on magnetic lines of force. One chamber, one chamber, one chamber, one chamber, all in rows.
Where is this?
And cliffs.
The majority of the cluster of them are in Putnam Valley and Kent Cliffs, New York. That's the highest cluster number of these chambers. I'll tell you a little bit something about these structures, is that they appear in Upper Westchester, which most of them, by the way, have been destroyed. And then they start to concentrate around Putnam County and go into Dutchess County, then disappear. Then they start appearing in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. But the chambers up there seem to be of more recent origin. How long ago who built these things? That's a good thing. I think everybody built them. They were built over a long period of time. The last people who built the chambers probably had no idea who built the first ones. There was a great duration in explorers coming over here. We had said that we believe that some of the older chambers were built by Phoenicians and then later on by Celtic explorers who came from Ireland, and that the last chambers built in Connecticut in the area were built by Irish Christians in 500 AD, and that the earliest chambers go back to about 3000 BC. Because I've been writing so much about this, and of course, you know, connection with UFOs and everything else like that, a lot of the work wasn't taken seriously because automatically I was identified with UFOs. So here I am dealing into something in an archaeological point of view, and all of a sudden, you know, these chambers start having UFO stigma attached to them. And I would get things like from, you know, West Con University and archaeologists in the area, you know, how's this, you know, what about the stone chambers? Huh? You see any UFOs around them? Archaeologists consider these places to be sterile from an archaeological point of view. Have you ever dug in them? No. Well, how do you know? Because they've created a taboo with the paranormal. So mainstream science would stay away from them and said they're just colonial root cellars. But they're not. So, New York State, in all its wisdom, decides that there may be something to this, that the evidence that I was writing and other people that picked up on them, some of them are in this room right now. You know who you are. New York State decides that maybe these aren't colonial root cellars. And they said, for the New York State tour guide, and while you're in New York, see if you can see one of the mysterious stone chambers, which are thought now to be of Druid origin. See for yourself, as with the legend of Sleepy Hollow. But the connection between the unusual phenomena, this is how I found a lot of these things. The connection between the emission of unusual paranormal phenomena that went across the spectrum.